guys, I am here to teach you a little bit about how I did my pendulum pour. These are the materials that you're gonna need. You're gonna need some gloves. If you don't have a tripod or microphone stand, I got these little hooks that have suction cups on them that you can just get at the dollar store. So those might work to set up on your ceiling, or if you actually have a house of your own. I live in an apartment, so I don't have that option. You can screw something into the ceiling to hang the pendulum from. A hole cutter to put the holes in your cup or bottle. Some thread to hold it up. You're gonna need a cup or bottle and some paints and your canvas. And I will be back to show you guys how to set up your cup for the pendulum pour. Okay, I'm going to use this cup to demonstrate what you should do on the bottom of your bottle or at the top of your cup. I just put in it 3 evenly spaced holes, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my string and I just folded it in half, and I'm going to take the loop and stick it through the hole, and then take the ends of the string that I have and pull it through the loop, and then just pull upwards so that it kind of tightens. And then you do that on all 3 of them so that you can just hold it up, and voila, now you can hold your cup up. Now before I tried out my pendulum pour, I knew that I needed to check like how fast the paint was gonna come out, but I didn't want to waste a bunch of paint trying out that, so I did just test it out with some water. And so I put a little hole in the bottom of this cup to kind of just show you guys what I'm talking about, so you can see just like how quickly it's gonna flow out or not. So you can see right there, you got a pretty good flow, but once you put motion to it, it kind of stops, or it just is kind of like dripping pretty crazily. Actually, it just even stopped. So I know that I need to make my hole bigger, so I will be right back. I definitely think that this hole is big enough, so we are going to try this again. There you go, we got a pretty good flow, so I know that this hole is gonna work, and we can move on to practicing our design and how we want to swing the pendulum. Okay, here we are with how I set up my pendulum. A lot of people do it a lot of different ways. There's microphone stands, you can hang it from the ceiling. I live in an apartment, so I don't really have the option of doing that, so I used just my tripod. And I have it kind of extended out pretty far and up pretty high, and it does have this hook on it right here that I have seen people use, but when I tried testing it, it kind of like wobbled and kind of shifted the bottle around in a way that I didn't like, so I ended up literally just tying it right there to this thing that was hanging down from there. And what I like to do before I actually do my pendulum pour is I like to take the bottle and I like to literally just pull it back and swing it, and then just watch the pattern that it forms. So I know that if I pull it back this way, it's not going to have a lot of motion. So if maybe I kind of give it a little push, there we go. Now it's kind of moving a little more. And so if you really want to see what it's drawing out, I suggest practicing with water or maybe some leftover paint that you're not planning on using, but that's what I like to do before I actually start my pendulum pour. Now, we practiced with water to see how the flow was going, but your paint is going to be a little thicker than that. Right now I have some pretty thick paint, so I'm going to water it down and show you guys just the consistency that I need for this, and then I will get to doing this pendulum for you. Alright, so as you can see here, my consistency is a little thick, and I want it to be pretty thin for this, but not like as thin as water. So what I like to do to measure it out is I just put my water in the bottle cap so that I know I'm not putting too much water in, and you don't, you know, get the wrong consistency, because it's so frustrating when you put in just a little too much water and then you have to put in more paint and try to really get that good consistency. Now this is nice, but I also kind of want it to flow just a little more than this. If I was doing a pour painting, that would be perfect, but with the pendulum, with there being motion, I want it to be sort of fluid. And for these colors, what I did is I used blue flash and pink flash color shift paints, and then for the blue I added in silver and phthalo blue by Liquitex Basics, and for the pink I added in gold and cadmium yellow deep hue. So I'm kind of doing a portal theme here. So let's get started with this first pour. Okay guys, here we are outside with our dried results. I think they look so amazing. The color shift didn't really take too much on them, so it doesn't really shift color that much, but I still think they look really cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.